One of the most frustrating experiences of midlife can be carrying a goal that made perfect sense to your life years ago, but no longer fits the life that you're actually living now. But then continuing to measure yourself against it anyways. So today we're going to talk about the courage it takes to update your goals without abandoning your ambitions. Welcome to your daily hit of grace and grit, your quick dose of inspiration to kickstart your day. I'm Courtney Townley, and here is today's hit. So something I think gets missed in a lot of conversations around goal setting is the relationship between your goals and the season of life that you're actually in. Most goal frameworks treat goals as static targets. You pick a destination, you build a plan to get there, and you execute. But what these frameworks almost never account for is the fact that life is not static. It's dynamic. It's always changing. Your energy fluctuates. Your responsibilities shift. Your biology changes. Your capacity for one season may look genuinely different from your capacity for another season. And when we hold really rigidly to a goal that doesn't fit our current reality, our current season, man, do we create a lot of unnecessary struggle. We produce things like chronic shame. And today I want to talk about how to hold ambition and context at the same time. Because one without the other will never feel truly healthy. I have, in so many different seasons of my life, had goals that were completely misaligned from the season I was in. So I think one of the most obvious examples of that is when my son was really young. I mean, we're talking, 3, 4 years old. I was training twice a day. And I was counting every bite of food that went into my mouth. Now, before I had a child, that would have been really reasonable for me. I had a lot of time. I had a lot of freedom. But once I became a mother, things shifted dramatically. And yet, I was feeling like a failure. I was feeling like I should be able to keep up because I was a trainer, because I had been doing this a long time. But I banged my head against that brick wall enough times, and I could feel in my body and soul that this was not working for me, that I eventually had to face reality and shift my expectations. I had to shift my goal, but it didn't mean that I stopped being ambitious. I didn't stop moving altogether. I just gave myself permission to let it look different. So, an analogy I want to share with you is just thinking of your goals like clothing. And a coat that was exactly the thing that you needed for winter is probably not going to feel the same way in the summer, right? It's still a good coat. You haven't outgrown it, but the season changed. And wearing a winter coat in summer and sweating through it while insisting that the coat is fine, that's not commitment. It's a refusal to acknowledge the weather. It's a refusal to acknowledge what fits your life now. So revising your goal to fit the season isn't giving up. It's actually really good strategy. It helps you to stay consistent. Because when you adjust your expectations, depending on the season at hand, you're able to keep showing up. It is looking honestly at what the conditions actually are and then dressing accordingly so you can keep moving comfortably in the direction that really matters to you. So there's a really important distinction that I want to draw between revisiting a goal and abandoning a value. Your goal is specific and contextual. Something like, I'm going to run a half marathon by October. I'm going to lose 20 pounds. I am going to meditate every morning for 30 minutes. Your value, on the other hand, is the underlying intention. It's the why behind the goal. Maybe you want to be strong and capable, or you want to feel good in your body, or you want to really have better focus in your life. Goals can and should be updated as seasons change, but your values are the anchors that keep the updates honest and allow you to adjust the expectation. So it's really important to me to feel good in my body. What I need to do in order to make that happen is going to change based on the season I'm in. And obviously you've figured this out by now. I'm not really talking about the different seasons of the year. I'm talking about the different seasons of your life. Right? So practically this means doing reviews often and much. So inside of my membership community, we do reviews quarterly. We do them every 3 months, where we sit with questions to make sure that our goals are still matching our values in the season that we're actually living. So does this goal still fit the actual life I'm living right now is a really big question to be asking on the regular. Am I missing the goal because I'm not trying hard enough or because the conditions have genuinely changed? For me, this is the difference between grace and grit, right? Grit is pushing harder because maybe you do need to push a little harder. And the grace is more recognizing that, hey, with all the stressors I have in my life right now, this goal doesn't feel aligned. That's different. And another great question is, if I revised this goal to fit my current reality, my current season, what would that look like? Right? It's that structured flexibility that I talk a lot about in the Consistency Code. Again, if you haven't read it, it's probably a great time to go get it. Which, by the way, if you need to know where to find it, you can find it on all online platforms that sell books, but theconsistencycode.com is a great place to see all the platforms that sell it. When you're able to answer those questions for yourself that I just mentioned, especially the last question, you start to align your goals, your expectations in a way that feels so much more achievable and so much more sustainable. So here's your big takeaway that I hope you walk away with from this episode from today. Ambition and context are not opposites. And one of the kindest things that you can do, one of the highest levels of self-care, is to hold them both at the same time, which means you stay committed to the direction you wanted to travel in, but you are also staying radically honest about the resources you actually have so you can commit to things that you can follow through with. A goal that fits your life gets done. A goal that doesn't fit your life gets carried as weight, as shame, as evidence of your own personal failing or inadequacy. Even though it's not that, we make it mean that. So this is an invitation for you to put down what doesn't fit in this season and pick up what does, no matter how small or light that thing is. Because that is what will allow you to keep moving. If this stirred something inside of you, imagine what a whole book of clarity and courage could ignite. The Consistency Code, a midlife woman's guide to deep health and happiness, goes even deeper into the mindset and practices that create real, meaningful change at midlife. Grab your copy today over at theconsistencycode.com and keep the momentum alive.